Welcome back to the Football Pundits. And as you can see, we have two very special guests with us today. We have the Menace and the Monk. If you guys aren't already following them, I really suggest you go and hit subscribe right after this. They're this close to 500 subscribers and they deserve it truly. Obviously, apart from the channel that they run, I've known them personally for really too long, maybe. Manas, as you can see, is not my twin. He's obviously the more talented and the better looking one here. And Nidhi is
Uh,
kind of our supreme boss there, giving us sagely advice from time to time, negotiating the footballing conversations in a non sarcastic way. Never loses his calm, never ever goes on Twitter and says anything wrong. Is always on point, politically correct. Guys, so we're going to talk about obviously just Liverpool today. Nidhi, I'll start with you on that note about being very calm and on never taking things out of proportion. Recall, recall to our conversation. When we did the preview, right? Liverpool are exactly where you thought they would end up, not winning the title, but will make it to the top three anyhow because that's what Klopp would do with injuries. We spoke about possible injuries. How do you feel about that?
Um, Obviously, in this case, doesn't feel good to be proven right. But I told you, right? It was on your show that I said that not replacing Lovren was a mistake, and it showed up in the worst way possible. If you look at things from a holistic perspective, of course, it's a huge thing that now we've made it in the top four, top three actually. But it was always on the cards, right? I mean, you don't go into a season with three senior centre backs, no sort of proper backup to your right back, and then he also had injuries and everything. I mean, we can go on and on about injuries, but the fact of the matter is that we are in this position because of Klopp mainly, right? And the kind of coaching he provides. But not having proper backups will show up for any team. In our case, it showed up, like I said, in the worst possible way.
Manas, the
yep.
Klopp, though we figured, right? End of the day, it is kind of what he does. It's his ability to sit, take a player up, like hold him, and just be like, "I know you got this," and just that guy just feels good about himself, right? If we look a little bit
Totally.
outside of Klopp, the Klopp को छोड़ के if you see, what else do you think worked in your favor in the end?
I felt that the team never felt sorry for itself, despite whatever was happening. That was very very important throughout the course of the season. Even when we lost 6 games in a row at Anfield, I mean, we didn't lose a game for 3 odd years, and to lose 6 league games, I mean, we still felt there was this belief which has been instilled throughout the team that we can get things done even when shit hits the fan. So that belief, I know you are saying minus Klopp, but that totally exists in the club right now. Everything that could have got wrong went wrong. We finished the season with what, sixth or eighth choice centre backs. We finished with Henderson missing for months and months, Naby Keita non-existing, COVID to players left, right, and center.
We'll come to K.
Uh, it's just the belief that exists within our club, and we have progressed so much, Annie. I mean, we have worked together like probably a decade back when we were working together. We all three were working together, and finishing in the top four for Liverpool was considered as a good season, And now when we finished third, it feels like disappointing. So I'm very happy with what happened this season. Obviously, with the journey that we had and where we finished, I'm very pleased. And onwards and upwards, man, I think things are only going to get better.
Uh, Fair enough. I mean, even I, if you had to look at it, right, मैं बोलूं कि why did this happen or how did Liverpool see? Obviously, United had one job and they bottled it. I would say in the end, one job only because we were pretty much dead second. Couldn't go up. Even if we tried really hard in the end, we didn't go down either. Um,
Yeah,
Mm.
could have beaten you guys, could have held you all to a draw. Things could have been different, right?
yeah,
But like you said, I think you can't talk about Liverpool's new change and their attitude without talking about Klopp, right?
yeah.
Which is why coming to sort of pros and cons of your season, what do you think about this Twitter, the way they just were okay in March, some of them saying हाँ Klopp जाएगा जो ठीक है अभी, thank you for everything but we're okay for a change. There's a very big, because you mentioned like we've gone back 10 years. it's not about football Twitter. It's not about young kids who just go on, don't watch football. All their life is football Twitter. What they see and hear is just there, nothing else, right? There are fans like you and me who've been supporting clubs for 10 years. And they quickly are up like, "Okay, thank you for your service, now get lost." What do you do in such cases? Do you think the fans on our own, like for y'all also live with Liverpool, did you all almost cause your own doom by letting go of, say, Klopp's okay if he goes? What do you say to such people?
Nidhi, do you want to go first?
There's not much to say. Honestly, there's not much to say. I mean, look, in football, as in life, perspective is very important. So, for example, like you're talking about these things from a 10-year lens. I mean, we don't even have to go that far and say, you know what, 2010 mein ye hua tha and uske pehle bhi ye hua tha and all that. The fact is that this is a guy, you know that half your team is decimated. Any football manager in the world will struggle with a team where, you know, he's lost his best defender, he's lost his two best midfielders. Not only the best defender, the entire defense is gone. Your best midfielders are playing in defense. You know, your forward line, someone's getting COVID, someone's getting injured.
He lost his mom as well.
Personal.
Obviously, it should be mentioned.
Well.
Yeah.
Right. So, look, I can go on a half an hour rant about, you know, why that is wrong. But I mean, the point is that I don't know, any legitimate Liverpool fan was not even remotely thinking about, you know, getting rid of Klopp. Klopp is the best thing that has happened to Liverpool in decades.
Yeah.
And then you know, and not even like one bad season. At Christmas, we were top of the league, right? 2 bad months. And if you start thinking that, okay, this is time for him to move on, then, you know, I don't know. I don't have anything to say about that.
I personally don't know any Liverpool supporter. Okay, I really don't know how these campaigns start on Twitter. I really don't know किसका पैसा लगा है, कौन सा IT
मैंने भी इतना देखा, मैं बोला कि यूनाइटेड फैंस, आई नो यूनाइटेड फैंस इतना वो बड़ा है ना, बहुत डिवाइड है, बट तुम लोग का सारे सीन के
I mean, I don't mean to be controversial here, but you know, like just for fun's sakes, you know what happens? I think on Twitter especially, you create a campaign. I'm not saying United fans did it, City fans did it. You create it and then people just go with the flow. I don't know one Liverpool supporter who wanted Jurgen Klopp out. And I'm saying this openly. I know it's going to be on the internet forever. In 2021, if you wanted Jurgen Klopp out, okay, I don't think I'm living in Mumbai, okay, and I will have people giving me stick, but I don't think you're a proper Liverpool supporter. That if you want Jurgen Klopp out, like how on earth can you be Jurgen Klopp out? Even if you finished 8th.
Yeah.
But kaise? Like,
I mean, I personally saw Nidhi responding to some people, and after that, you know, that guy, and then I went and saw there are actually more than just, you know, that one person, and it begs differ. How, okay, I get it. Look, there are fans who are 18, 19 who don't have the level of commitment. See, they support the clubs you and I do. I get where they come from. For them, football is different. But at some point, when you read and you understand a club and you love the club, going a little bit outside of Liverpool, like thoda common sense hota hai.
Utna time nahi hai na, Annie. Utna time nahi kisi ke paas abhi.
I just honestly, I see that. Look, I would be happiest if Klopp goes, because who's going to come in and do what you guys are going to do? He's literally taken a club again, no money coming in. See, for example, okay, this is moving into the next topic, and then whatever, you can come back to this if you all want. Let's say, you know, the talk was about maybe Mane and Salah and all that fight, तो कुछ नहीं था, ठीक है. Assume one of them would to go, right? Like a Mane goes. Now, this was City, or if this was United, they would go to Jack Grealish at 75 million. They'll go to Son at 100 million and buy from the league. Right? They will pay the English tax and buy it. Liverpool won't. They will go to one of the bottom 5 sides, bottom 8 sides. They'll go in for a Rafinha, although he's not bottom right now, but you get my point. Or they'll go for a Pereira and a better season, right?
100%. Like what Jurgen Klopp has achieved with Liverpool outright with the limitations, no other manager on planet Earth can do it. I'm not saying he's the best manager in the world. There might be, you can have arguments, but with the structure of our club, with the limitations of our club, no one can do what he has achieved so far. Nidhi, would you concur with me? I don't think anyone can.
100%. For me, he's the best manager in the world. Look, the point is that, you know, you were talking at the start of the video, you were talking about mentality, right? The fact that, you know, none of the players felt sorry for themselves. The fact that, you know, every single one of them tried till the last moment of every game. I mean, even when we were losing, there was effort. Of course, you know, there were limitations here and there in terms of technicality. That belief Klopp has brought in. And, you know, talking more about, you know, how he's made it work with a limited amount of money. I wouldn't say no money, but, you know, the point is that it's like a guy who has to sell, you know, his car to get a new car, right? We can't, we are like that. I mean, so the point is what he's done with this kind of setup, this kind of financial limitations, that I don't see anybody else doing.
Exactly.
At any other club.
Yeah, I think, see, honestly, even for the sake of banter, I'm not throwing in any point here because I find it hard to disagree myself. Just looking at the way y'all got Robertson in, I think that's one of the signings which highlights what he was trying to do. And look, this is coming to the point of where there's comparisons going on, right? First, a lot of when he won the Champions League, a lot of managers, a lot of pundits compared him to Sir Alex Ferguson, taking an average squad of your Cleverleys and Andersons and etc. and making them title league winners, making them play their part, making them do just their job, just their role for 3-4 seasons. But if those guys go anywhere else, they probably succumb. They wouldn't probably do as good a job. I'm not saying be terrible, but as good a job, right? Now,
maybe,
maybe. Can't say for sure.
Yeah.
But so that tells you, right? So when you take that now comparison to this age, which is what I disagree with, but I think that principle should remain in the world of football. When the people complain about or they draw comparison saying Ole and Klopp, okay? Look at Klopp, what he's done. Give Ole some time, he'll do the same thing that Klopp has done. Yes, Klopp was given time, sure. When he came in, you guys were shambolic, rotated the squad out, got fresh players in. वही final comparison करेगा तो almost same है, ठीक है. But I will say one point now. This is because I'm going to get a lot of hate from United fans on this, but ठीक है. Klopp was a winner in the Bundesliga, right?
Precisely.
Ole wasn't doing too good at Cardiff and was okay at Norway. I'm saying when Norway he was fine. Okay, let's not talk about Norway, but he's managed also that long. So where I see the argument that fans lose patience nowadays and why our fan base is so divided, I like the principle of this, which is why I would say even in United, if you just give this guy that extra 100 million more, and instead of giving, see, Liverpool won't have that, and I get that. That's why kudos to Klopp for doing it with that shoestring budget, right? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes, you all signed Alisson, and again, for the sake of banter, तो खींचूंगा तुम लोग का, but logical point नहीं है उधर.
हाँ.
खींचूंगा तो अभी कौन में केटा के बारे में बात करो, वो तो पॉइंट था ही. इसको मालूम था निधि को कि श्रीराम ने दावा दिया था कर्न को कि नहीं केटा सक्सेसफुल रहेगा, हम दोनों ने बोला फ्लॉप रहेगा, ठीक है. बट पॉइंट ऑफ प्रिंसिपल इज इन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ फुटबॉल एंड व्हाट वी सी ऑन ट्विटर नाउ, I just feel that a lot of what we're seeing in players and what we're seeing in the hunger of players and the reactions and the worries is just down to Twitter, right? And I think that if just for a collective second, clubs don't listen to that, you would expect that things would go better. But option nahi hai na. The clubs are now driving everything off that. So I just feel that Klopp...
And he also like giving time, you know, like patience is the key, but giving time to the right man. Like you mentioned, he won 2 league titles with Dortmund, not with Bayern Munich. Okay. And then he made Dortmund reach the Champions League final, and I mean, he lost, but heartbreak right at the end, Ian Robben scored. So he's a proven winner. वैसे तो Celtic के साथ लीग Rangers के साथ suppose Gerrard जीता doesn't mean he's ready, like comparison mold Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is ready to manage Manchester United. If Gerrard is won at Rangers, we know he's not ready to manage Liverpool, and I don't want Gerrard anywhere near at the moment our club, because we want Jurgen Klopp to stay as long as possible. So in a way, I'm happy that these comparisons are made by Man United supporters with Jurgen Klopp, because there is a tinge of delusion involved, saying that Klopp ko to time diya.
Which you see, I don't agree with that. I like the principle of giving managers time.
Exactly.
I think the comparisons are little immature. Do I want Ole to get one more year? Yes. Because देख अभी तू जो भी लेके आएगा वो बोलेगा हाँ ये तू 200 मिलियन ले, उसको टीम फाड़ना है, वापस 2 साल निकालेगा, फिर बोलेगा मेरे पास नहीं है. I am tired of that. I'd rather give him, and I think if he gets one more year, Independently, of course, he'll probably do a good enough job and get us something, right?
Look, Annie,
Nidhi, do you want Ole to get one more year?
Of course, तुम का तो अलग फंडा है.
No, but look, I'll tell you something, Andy. Banter aside, I'll tell you the worst thing that we can do right now is sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. First of all, who do you replace him with?
Right? No one, whoever comes in.
And these things are relative. You have to understand that, you know, right now City has lost the Champions League final. They are going to go big in the transfer market again. Chelsea have won it, so they are again going to go strong in the transfer market. Liverpool, again, we will have half our team back, so definitely stronger than the last time, right? And then if you get a new manager in, the expectation from, see, he's already finished second. The expectation for United fans is to go and win the title, right? He's finished in the top 4 2 times in 2 years, 2 seasons. Now the expectation is to go and win the title, right? You can't achieve that with another transitional season. I mean, in the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, it has happened once with Conte in the Premier League, and that too because, you know, there were a lot of teams in transition. So I think, banter aside, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's comparison should be with himself. If you compare him with, you know, how the hell are we going to get better of this, you know, Manchester City team? It's the bloody Death Star of football, putting $1 billion into the team every time. That Liverpool must be thinking, that Chelsea must be thinking, that, you know, every single, you know, team that has title aspirations must be thinking that. So comparisons with that is not fair at all, because, you know, it's completely different. The factors are different.
Yeah, so that my whole point of doing this was to kind of draw out a big pro for you. Like I said, that was the point of this, right? That Klopp, the way whatever was being said was at the stake of Ole and the comparison, that he deserves that credit for doing what he did with your squad. I mean, so tomorrow you can say another Alisson's goal, right? That was all luck. Somewhere, yeah, it is luck. Maybe it's nothing to do with Klopp, right? He just said, I'm coming on, took a goal. So सब देख लो बाद में. By end of the day, वो belief आता है. In the squad, belief आता है तो ही करेगा वो. वरना कोई करेगा नहीं. Shoulders will be dropping. You'll take the 1-1 draw. You'll pass the ball in the back. That's the kind of stuff you'll do, right? What you saw Tottenham doing towards the end of season. They lost all mojo of playing football. Coming towards your cons, right? Obviously, Wijnaldum, one of them. How and what happened there, and Naby Keita. Keita essentially, you can now say safely, is a dud. Nothing to do with the guy as he's a flop player, but injury, you know, just too many injuries, right? No confidence left. Can you cash in on him, sorry? And secondly, with Wijnaldum gone, knowing Liverpool and FSG structure, let's not go into FSG because तुम लोग तो भी थक गए होंगे वो बात करें. मालूम है तुम लोगों को क्या है base structure. You all are confident that this squad with this midfield, assuming Keita stays, or if you sell him and you get somebody in, can you all mount the challenge next year for the title?
Nidhi, please go for it.
Look, you know, talking about Keita, I know that, you know, on your preview, we had this conversation and Sriram was very confident about Keita. I have never felt confident about Keita. And again, like you said, it has nothing to do with him being a bad player. He's a fantastic player. There is zero doubt about that. The fact of the matter is that guy doesn't add anything on the bench either. It's not like you can, you know, bring him on and sort of, you know, add energy to the midfield. Whoa, he's in the hospital bed all the time, right? So with Wijnaldum gone,
but it's true. Honestly, मैं इसलिए बोला कि जो मैं मस्ती के लिए खींचूंगा, लेकिन वो आता है 2 गेम खेलता है, 15 गेम चला जाता है, 10 गेम चला जाता है.
It's true. And he's a guy who gets injured in training, and then while training, again he gets injured. He doesn't even come to a game, right? So Abhibi, he has his hamstring. I don't know how his hamstring got pulled, but it did, right? Now, Wijnaldum's replacement, we have to get a replacement. I think we cannot make the same error as we did with Lovren. It's not just about Wijnaldum, you know, the player, the kind of player he is. Of course, he's had a few tough months, and there has been enough spoken about everybody about Wijnaldum. I think he was a very important part of the team. But the fact is that now you can't expect Curtis Jones to become Wijnaldum all of a sudden. Wijnaldum is a guy who would never get injured. He would always, you know, do whatever Klopp asked him to do. He would do it to the team. you suddenly cannot expect Curtis Jones. And then what happens? Again, your point about Twitter. One young player entrusted with a big responsibility, it's very natural that they might not be 100% up to it. And then the cycle starts. Then people will abuse, racial abuse in case of colored players and all that. I'm not going too much into that, but it's a vicious circle. So it's unfair for a team that has title ambitions to say, Curtis Jones, now you have to fill in for Gini Wijnaldum. You have to get a competent, replacement for Gini. And I hope and pray we do.
Yeah, I mean, if Gini's loss is arguably, I would say, under the Klopp era, the biggest loss that we've had so far. I'm going to say that big. Coutinho gaya, you got Alisson and Van Dijk. So it worked in our favor. Gini's loss is unprecedented. Like, it is huge. Gini is our system. Firmino and Gini are our system. And Gini's loss, people are not understanding like what a system-based player he is. He's available all the time. He presses, he cleans up, he passes, he can score a goal or two. We have to sign someone, irrespective of whether we cash in on Naby Keita or not. Thiago is injury prone. Naby Keita is injury prone. Yep. Henderson is injury prone. Milner is getting older. Fabinho is the only player that we can rely on staying fit. And
Naby Keita is not injury prone, Manas. He's injured. Injury prone. How can you be prone to something which is your perennial state?
Fair. My point is, we only have one senior fit midfielder who is available all the time, Fabinho, and he played majority of the season as centre back. So if we don't sign anyone, irrespective of Chamberlain leaving, Naby Keita leaving, we will not challenge for the title. And we have to sign a bloody good midfielder. Like, we cannot go a 7 million player from the championship who will, we have to sign a quality player. Gini was a quality player. He's going to bloody Barcelona. He's not going to Genoa or Aston Villa, he's going to Barcelona, bro. Like,
Bayern Munich, PSG were the clubs linked with him. So
so he is. Yeah, we need to sign. We need to sign a good player in midfield.
So are you telling me, agar jo koi aaya nahi, okay, let's assume you go ahead with this squad. Salah, Mane obviously stay, Firmino stays, Jota stays, fitter Jota, Van Dijk is back. The squad as itself currently, can it win the league without a sign?
No. Like, we've signed Konate, we've strengthened there. We need to sign another midfielder. We need to sign another attacker. Simple as that. We need to freshen things up front. Teacher season, they've been brilliant up front, but we need another dimension to our game. Midfield, Thiago, Fabinho, if fit, amazing. They have changed our midfield in the latter half of the season. We cannot rely on Henderson. We need something different in midfield. Curtis Jones, like Nidhi correctly mentioned, वो ज़रा 20 साल का यार, मतलब वो hardly खेला है कुछ. उसको you cannot make him play every game. We need to sign 3 or 4 players this window. Nidhi, देखो क्या लगता है?
See, that's a need. Na? Sorry, before you say Nidhi, that's a need, right? We needed Marcus Rashford 5 years back to come in, and you saw what happened. We never signed anybody. He did well. Club को बहाना मिल गया. और तब से बेचारा स्ट्राइकर से, राइट विंग से, लेफ्ट विंग से भटक रहा है. अभी 2 stress fracture, shoulder injury. At 23, he has injuries. 29-year-olds, like a Rooney had when he was getting it at 23.
Yeah.
And that's just talking about how unfair it is, because at sometimes even I found myself in the season, I'm like, "Hey, Rashford, tu kya kar raha hai? Gaali nikla muh se." And I'm like, at some point, I'm like, shit, I have to scale back because this guy's 23. He's turning 24 this year.
Yeah.
He's done as good a job he can, but that's the plight and expectation we've been, because koi hai nahi aur hope dalne mein, right? If Curtis Jones comes in, and if he comes into this role, he will have to play in week out, right? Which he was playing, I think, for a couple of weeks in the middle, end of December.
Yes. Dude, so the first thing is that Curtis Jones, I mean, we are talking too much about Curtis Jones, but Curtis Jones is a different kind of player, first of all. He's not the kind of player that Wijnaldum is or was for us, right? Secondly, about expectation. Look, see, the thing is, this team, Klopp, when you got Wijnaldum, when you got players like Robertson and all that, okay, you got the brief that you have to sign someone who's relatively unknown because less price and all that. This team has earned it, right? even with this injury-ravaged season, we finished in the third position, ahead of a team like Chelsea, who spent whatever amount of money in the summer.
Ahead of champions of Europe, bro.
Champions of Europe, we finished ahead of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, the point is that, exactly your point about Rashford. It's unfair for us to, expect that, Curtis Jones will come in and suddenly, transform into Gini Wijnaldum next season. We have to sign, defender we've already signed. We have to sign a midfielder. If not a big name, a proven name. An attacker is a must because, sometimes we need to change the approach in which we, go in for certain games. From the bench, we need a little bigger threat. Jota is great, but again, Jota is not exactly a proper striker, you would say.
Yeah.
And he just... sorry, completely.
And I would also say that we need a backup for Trent. The guy is 22 years old. This season, he's played 49 games, 45 before that, 41 in the season previous to that. He's 22
and
years old.
He got injured again.
Again, he's got injured.
This is what we spoke about in the live. Remember 3 weeks back? We spoke about Trent. कि थोड़ा उसको नहीं बचकोगे तो वो लग जाएगा अभी उसका आ रहा है.
Are you trying to make another Michael Owen? Like overplaying a player that, like you said about Rashford, so many injuries. We can't afford that. We need backup. And Neco Williams again, same expectation versus performance. Too unfair on Neco and Curtis Jones.
Yeah, it's like
and just to sum it up, like Liverpool under FSG and Jurgen Klopp era, I've mentioned this a few times, have always replaced. They have replaced players. We've never strengthened the squad. And I think after winning the Champions League and winning the Premier League, the attitude has to change a bit from the owners. What we always do is sell a player and get a replacement. Because of Klopp, those replacements turn out to be little upgrades. We now need to strengthen the squad. We have never strengthened the squad. The time has come that Liverpool strengthens the bloody squad. It's when we won the Champions League, we got a backup goalkeeper. We got Sepp van der Berg and one more player. Like none of them played for Liverpool. Like this is how you reward the manager. When we won the Premier League, we got Jota and Thiago. We spent like 60 million. We let go of players as well.
Yeah.
So usme bhi our net spend was 20-30 million. We have to go out and spend. Like we have to spend. Our net spend under Klopp is what 13th or 14th in England. Like what the hell? Like we want to challenge for the title, right?
Are you worried? So are you worried then? And we can wrap up after. Are you worried that looking at Mane and Salah, right? You'll come back to that your front three now. Look, Firmino in and out of form. Maybe can come back into form next season. Maybe takes a break. Right? A lot of players need a break. So obviously none of the front three is going to be sold. Not Jota, obviously. No, your front four will be untouched, right? Are you worried that when these players are sold, and eventually one of them will have to be sold to make money because of what you mentioned, FSG are not going to pump out 100 million of their own. And once football normalizes of sort in 2022-23 season, will you all be able to compete at that time? Are you worrying about the long term beyond one season?
I am not. Like, I am worried not long term. I'm worried every season. Like it's not 2023. So my worry is not 2 years aage. I'm worried about this season because see, David James made a very interesting statement that Liverpool are better without Salah. Okay, so I read that article, and the crux of that article was that probably this is the best time to cash in. When you think about cashing in, okay, it is the best time to cash in. But why would you want to get rid of your best asset? Like Liverpool without Salah this season would have been 10th, 11th, 12th. So there's no way we should cash in on Mo Salah. It'll be ludicrous if that happens, if you ask me. But the reality is we have to sell to buy. I'm not worried about 2023. I'm worried about this
next season. Just immediate next season. Because the World Cup's coming around, right? So तभी सब हो उसके पहले ही सब जोल-जाल होने वाला है.
We should just sign, and apparently Daka from Salzburg is on his way, apparently. So if that happens and we sell no one, I'm happy. Therefore, we will have your front four, we will have Daka, and we'll have Minamino, we will have Harvey Elliott, who's at Blackburn. So 6-7 players will be okay. If you're building a future as well, having senior players as well.
And with a new centre back, you're kind of okay. You have maybe Matip on the bench then. Looking at Virgil coming back.
Matip Gomez, if Nat Phillips stays, nothing like it. So I'm not too worried. I'll be worried if we sell and we absolutely don't buy. Like, I mean, now Genie is left, and Nidhi rightly mentioned, if we don't replace Genie, I'm worried. If we don't sign an attacker, I'm worried. I'm not saying go out and get an Haaland or Mbappe. Get a Daka. I know Klopp will mold. I know Klopp, we'll see the best of Jota as well this season. So I think things are going to get better. It was as bad as it could get, and we still finished third. With Jurgen Klopp, I am a believer. I think it's going to get better. I'm not too worried. I'm not too stressed. Nidhi, I know we're running out of time. Teko kya lagta hai?
Yeah, I mean, worried in the sense that, you of course will compete and, will be good. But the point is that, if you're in football, like I said, you have to look at what you're up against. You're up against a Manchester City side who will probably spend another 150 million in the transfer market.
Easily.
So you can say that, okay, we should not be comparing ourselves to Man City or Man United or, those kind of things. But the point of the matter is that the fact of the matter is that you have to compete for the title against these teams, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying go ahead and spend that much, but you have to be at least there and thereabouts. And if we don't sign an attacker and if we don't sign Genie's replacement, 2020 mistake, 2021 mistake, part 2.
Nidhi, but mera wohi point hai, if we don't sell anyone and we sign 3 players, if Chamberlain stays, Origi stays, Shaqiri stays, and we sign 1 midfielder and 1 attacker, then I'm very happy. 3 player add kiya at positions, but मेरा सिर्फ यही stress हम लोग बेचने वाले हैं bro मेरे को.
But one thing is तुम लोग का at least, so one thing is that if you do what you have like hope is going to happen, 3 players coming in and no one to be sold since Wijnaldum has left, you have the manager with a pedigree to take this squad, try to challenge in the Premier League. Very tough. It's basically the best of the rest versus Man City. It's how it's become now. This one season is on the big gap, right? उन लोग का भी C team हो गया है. हम सबका A team बनने को time लग रहा है. उन लोग का C team भी तैयार हो गया है. ऐसे हो गया उन लोग का, right? And they did it with the KDB was injured half the season. They didn't have a number. They didn't have a striker playing half the time, man. कुछ भी करके he did something. In the end, it cost him the Champions League. But flipping that to Klopp, he can put something together, inspire performance, and maybe get to the Champions League again or get to the final, right? That's his speciality to get that. And looking at all the squads right now, Chelsea has the deepest squad. Bayern were looking good last year, but suddenly seem like they're in a very kacha state of sort. PSG are again always looking dominant, but never are, right? So if you get your players, there is promise. But right now, looking at your current squad, you guys are worried about winning the Premier League, right? It's not. You need things to work in your favor. The puzzle is not complete at all.
Nidhi, are you worried? I'm not. I'm not too worried. I'm not saying we're going to win.
Look,
I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but I'm not worried.
Yeah, not worried. But look, there is still time to go in the transfer market. I would reserve my judgment till 31st of August or wherever the window closes. That's when I would be. Right now it's fine. I mean, we have to replace, and that's the reality. Strengthen, sorry, not replace. They कौन से भी replace.
Strengthen. यही तो attitude हो गया हमारा.
तो ठीक है, तो मतलब somewhere तो agreement है कि ठीक है, like look, there is a balance, right? अभी even if you wanted to assume in the old days that हाँ ठीक है 2 player को लेकर you team से एक signing किया हो जाएगा, but नहीं होता आजकल. To compete the way you have to compete and the way the structures are aligned, it's not easy. If someone does it after all of that, great, give the guy a medal genuinely, right? But like I said, we have less than a minute to go. Predictions for the season. I know we don't like it, but okay, it's a little early, but okay. Quick predictions. Manas.
Too early. We've only signed 1 player. All I'm going to say is that if we have a decent transfer window, we will challenge for the title and go deep in Europe. That's my prediction. FA Cup, League Cup, we won't care, I know.
Quick. So 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, so the league has to be the priority next season, and I think that depending on the transfer window, I hope we compete for the title.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe on the Football Fun Days and Menace and the Monk. And stay tuned on the social media channels as well. We all engage in a lot of banter amongst ourselves and with everybody else. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Annie. Thanks for having us.
Football Fun Days.